Rozei, again, thanks for doing this. Appreciate it. So our podcast again about music, your journey in music, and how you got to where you are now. I did read that you are from Erie, Pennsylvania. Is that true?
Erie, Pennsylvania. Yep, that's
Right
my
on.
my hometown. Born and raised.
That's fairly close to the Ohio border, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a 30-minute drive.
Cool. Yeah. I knew somebody that was from there originally, and they were like huge Cleveland Indians fans and stuff.
Dude, that's all it is. It's like Pirates, Indians, Browns, Steelers. Like that's all that goes on around here.
That's amazing. Yeah, my family's from Cleveland, so I thought that was cool.
Oh yeah, where from?
They live in Elyria, which is like East or West Cleveland area.
Okay. Yeah.
Like more in the
I'm familiar with around there, yeah.
Cool, man. Awesome. Well, tell me about that a little bit. How'd you get into music?
So I pretty much grew up around music from when I was born. Like I had both my uncles on each side of my family were both in bands.
Oh wow.
My grandma used to sing in church. So yeah, I just kind of absorbed like all this music around me like ever since I was young. And like I've always been able to sing a little bit like when I was younger, and I started like developing my voice a little bit more throughout the years. And then it came high school, I started like recording myself. I got a MacBook for Christmas from my dad, which was I was lucky to get because
yeah,
pretty privileged. But yeah, so I got that from my dad, and I ended up like investing into a microphone, and I just sat in GarageBand all day and just grind it out.
Right on. So you said your uncles are in bands. Did you ever see them perform or like, help
Not
roadie
like
or anything like that?
yeah, not like anything like big shows. My uncle on my dad's side, who's actually my manager right now, was signed to Def Jam at one point.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, it was super kind of ironic how this kind of lined up for both of us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's really cool. Had you seen him and like went out, seen him perform and stuff?
He had a song. I haven't seen him perform, but he had a song on one of the Fast and Furious soundtracks, like back in the day. And I remember him like always showing me like this new music, and I always thought it was the coolest thing, like hearing his voice on like a track rather than like hearing him speak, and just like creating this thing. And it's always like fascinated me. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. Wow. That's pretty crazy that he was on the, Fast and Furious soundtrack. So
That's what I'm saying. It's cool
that's
stuff.
nuts. That's amazing. Well, then how did you, so you were working on GarageBand, and then what was the first song you released?
First song I released was called Motive. It was
Okay.
under an old. I'm not gonna leak my old alias, but
okay. It was before Rozei.
It was before Rozei. Yes.
Okay.
I'll just say it's not anywhere. My old name was Bravo back in the day because I always just spike my hair up when I was like in high school. And,
Johnny Bravo style.
Johnny Bravo, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, so that's where that came from. And yeah, it was my first ever song was called Motive, and it wasn't terrible, but I would not listen to it ever again in my life.
And then with that project, were you just releasing music online only?
Yeah, I was doing SoundCloud. I was releasing music SoundCloud, and I was doing I was so involved, like just trying to bust out as many songs as I can. And I ended up releasing like 5 songs a day. I was just sitting in my room all day, just making music.
Whoa.
It was insane. Like the work ethic was just, it was just like, it's all I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just grinding and grinding and grinding. And I mean, I've only been doing this I'm 21 now, and I started when I was 16. So I've been doing it for about 5 years now.
Wow.
And
like always hip hop?
Yeah, pretty much always hip hop. And back then it was kind of more boom bap, kind of like J. Cole style, like simple drums and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more lyrical back then, but I started like getting more into the melodic side of things when Juice WRLD started coming up.
Oh, okay.
And that was kind of like my motivation to like start singing on tracks. I've always had a little bit of a voice on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, yeah, here we are.
Yeah. Did you say you were in chorus? I thought you said that you were in chorus. Maybe not.
I was in chorus in grade school.
Oh, okay, not in high school though.
No.
Right.
Nothing in high school. I was super quiet in high school, actually.
Oh, I was gonna ask, did your friends or anybody know that you were producing music?
I kept it pretty low key for a little bit. I mean,
Okay.
at lunch we used to just like have someone like bang on the desk with like a pen or a pencil, and we used to just freestyle over just like that. And like we used to get, or I was getting pretty good at it. My friends were getting good at it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I started recording music without anyone knowing. And then the first song that I put out on Apple Music was under Bravo, and it was called like Nikes or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I kind of got picked on a little bit for it. I'm not gonna lie.
Really? Why
I
was
got picked
that?
on a little bit for it because it wasn't good. I mean, it's not a good song. Um, and yeah, so I was just kind of super like in my little shell,
Mm-hmm.
not telling anybody about the music I was releasing until one day it just kind of popped.
And that didn't discourage you putting that song, putting Nikes up and having people like, knock it
Because
down?
I always had this gut feeling that it was gonna be something, and I feel like a lot of people have that. Like if they have this desire, this urge to like wanna break the barrier of what their vision is, then they're just gonna keep going for it no matter what. Like who tells them they're not gonna do it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. Totally. What was the song that like what when did you switch to Rosie from putting stuff out under Bravo?
Rosie was 20 end of 2018. I released Buzzin' under Rosie. That was my first song under Rosie. 20 December of 2018.
Okay. And
And
what was the reason why you changed? Do you remember?
I I just wanted to change. I just felt like it was time to rebrand, revamp my whole entire sound. And once I did that, I saw like it was kind of like a steady increase. And then once I changed to Rosie, just the motivation spiked, and I just started getting a lot better than I was.
Yeah. Well, what was the did you ever perform as Bravo out?
No,
Or
I
was it
never
just all
performed as
online?
Bravo. I performed. Are you talking about numbers performing? Or are you talking about
Like
like physical performance?
physical performing.
Yeah, no, I've only performed as Rosie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that was just a venue in my town. I performed a couple times there. It's called Basement Transmissions,
Mm-hmm.
and the show was actually, usually they don't get that many people coming to their shows.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we had a packed room when I
Oh,
performed.
that's rad. Was
Yeah, it
it
was
just
sick.
did you just promote it around like it was in your hometown?
Yeah, it was kind of just word to mouth. It wasn't like I wasn't handing out flyers or anything. It was kind of just like, hey, Rosie's performing at this show. Slide through, and it was around Halloween, so everyone was like,
Dressed up and stuff?
yeah, there's a few people that were dressed up. It was kind of fun.
That's rad. That's really cool. Well, with like what was the first obviously you signed to Atlantic now. I did read that you had a song you got to work with the guys in the Phase House,
Yeah,
which is
that was
pretty
super fun.
cool. I know the place just because I have a 12-year-old son who's obsessed with the Phase guys
Oh,
and
dude, trust me, been
Fortnite.
there. Yeah.
One of them actually lives close to us, Phase Rug, and we've seen him a couple times. Do you know him?
Yeah, I know Rug. I used to
Okay.
play Xbox with Rug.
Really? Yeah, so
Yeah.
he lives in the town like just east of us in
Okay.
San
Yeah,
Diego.
yeah, exactly. San Diego. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
that's
super cool.
crazy.
He's like one of the
So,
biggest phase guys now.
I know. And then his brother's getting pretty big too. Uh
Brandon. Yeah.
yeah, so we ran into him actually pretty recently too. My son took a picture with him and like
Yeah,
in
they
their
seem
masks.
super, super nice guys.
Yeah. So how did you get involved with them? Were you just a game playing video games?
Oh, dude, I've always been a gamer ever since I was young. My dad
Okay.
got me into it. We used to play the original Xbox together, and we used to play Doom all the time. And I'm just like, yo, like I
Oh,
love this.
Doom, man.
The OG Doom, bro. And yeah, so like ever since then, it's just something I used to always just do, like Splinter Cell. Um, and then it turned into Call of Duty once the 360 came out,
Mhm.
and I got involved in this. Sorry, this water's making me choke. I
All
got in
good.
this huge Call of Duty community where I was just meeting a bunch of people every single day, and those are still some of my closest friends today. Like I still talk to a bunch of the people that I met when I was like 13. You know what I
Wow.
mean? And it's yeah, it's just something that's always been with me. It kind of just always, it was always like a mental escape from what was going on. Like anywhere else in my life, if I was being stressed about something, I'd just be like, all right, I'm gonna hop on, talk to
Mhm.
my boys online, and everything will be all right.
Right, right. And then that's how you met the guy. Like, who'd you meet from Phase? Like, how did that happen?
I met Gwit, I met Rug, and that was just all. Um, I don't want to say because I was pretty good at the game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I don't want to get too much into details, but there's like a trick shotting community. I don't know if you're familiar with trick shotting. It's
Huh.
kind of just like style points. It's style points in the game, and if you get
Okay.
good at it, you start meeting people who are good at it, and it's just like a huge. It's almost like a bracket, right?
Oh, got you. Okay.
And yeah, so I got pretty good at it. So I was up there with the Phase guys, and we used to just play together. I met Austin Gwit and Rug. Were like my
Wow.
two friends when I was back then playing Xbox.
That's cool. And then you obviously kept the relationship with them because they did the video, right? For your most recent
Yeah,
song.
that wasn't necessarily through that relationship. It was kind of a Kevin Weaver thing. So
Okay.
the song was blowing up in the gaming community. So Kevin says to me, he's like, "Yo, let's keep this in the gaming community. Let's get the top face or the top gaming team to do this music video with us because the song's blowing up in the gaming community," and it just made sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I've already like I've known these guys, so it was all supernatural and it was awesome.
Yeah. How did they get a hold of the song? Like, because that's kind of what attracted the attention of Atlantic, right? Was the success of
Yes.
that song.
Um, the gaming community. So I would say August of last year, I was on Twitter. Me and my buddy Matt, Four for Vincent, were on Twitter, and we're like, all right, kind of going through like a list of how to market ourselves as artists.
Mm-hmm.
And we just had this brain blast. We're like, okay, gaming. There's a bunch of people making montages and putting songs behind their montages, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we messaged like probably well over 1,000 people that night. Just the same message, copy and paste over and over again. Just like, yo, I make music. If you like it, put it in your videos. We won't copyright it, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I made the song Ooh La La, and it was kind of perfect for that kind of. It was super bouncy and had a lot of
Mm-hmm.
like bass drops and super bassy, whatever. Um, and it just kind of fit perfectly with that whole community. So that's how it got its huge takeoff.
So what like people ended up starting to use it and make videos to it?
Exactly. Yep. And then it was kind of like a snowball effect.
Uh-huh.
So it started off really small, and once more and more people heard about it, just kept rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling until it got big,
Yeah.
massive.
Right. And then when it starts getting big, what happened next? Is that what do major labels start contacting you at this point?
Yes. So there's a point in the beginning of January, I want to say, is when it was right after New Year's. Yeah. The beginning of January, we had a bunch of major labels and a bunch of um, independent labels reaching out to us. And me and my manager, who's also my uncle,
Mm-hmm.
were flying back and forth between New York and LA for probably a good like 3 weeks straight,
Wow.
taking all these meetings.
Tell me about that. That
And
must have been exciting. Like
I mean,
seeing
yeah, it was
yeah.
surreal. And like even to this day, I still wake up in the morning and I check my phone. I see all these notifications, way more than I saw before, and I'm like, okay, like this is still happening. Like this is real.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so like flying back and forth between New York and LA, it's kind of like my dream became a reality. Like it embodied itself. It was like a
Mm-hmm.
manifestation. And I can't even like put it into words. It was so like walking into these buildings where like I see like these big, because like every one of these buildings have like their logo on the wall. So like I took a
Mm-hmm.
picture of like every single logo on every wall,
Yeah,
and I
totally.
sent it to my group chat of like all my buddies. I'm just like, yo, guess where I am right now. And yeah, I don't know. It's like this goal that I set like years and years before kind of coming to life. And it's like in that moment, like in my head, I'm just like, okay, dreams come true if you put enough work in, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's like the most I could take from it is like I put in all this work to achieve this goal and I did it. So it was like a huge pat on the back to myself.
Oh, definitely. Definitely a validating feeling, I'm sure.
Yes.
And then you decide to go with Atlantic.
Yes. Atlantic with all my other meetings, um, some were good, some were bad. It almost felt like when I was speaking to a lot of other labels, they saw me as more of a product. And I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus, but when I walked into Atlantic, it was kind of like I was chilling with my boys. Like I met Iann, Adam, Austin, like my A&Rs,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, it was just like this, it was like almost like a brotherly bond that we all had together, like immediately off bat. Like it was just easy to talk to them. I felt comfortable in my own skin rather than feeling like I was trying to sell myself,
Mm-hmm.
like I was a product and I was trying to sell myself to somebody. It was kind of just like a bro conversation. Like it was like a
Mm-hmm.
serious like what's good, like how's your day been? Can I take you out to lunch? Like we had lunch afterwards, and it was just like it was like a seriously it was a seriously like really validating environment, and it was family. Like that's just the easiest way I can put it.
Mm-hmm. And then you, yeah, obviously sign with them. That's amazing.
Yes.
Did you have, and you already had Ooh La La out. Did you have the video done already? Or was that something that came later?
So after I signed with Atlantic, I didn't have the video out at the time. We just put the lyric video out.
Okay.
I left LA after I signed, went home for I would say about a week, and then Adam texts me. He's like, "Yo, you want to come back out to LA for a month?" So after that, I went out to LA for a month and just had a bunch of studio sessions. And towards the end, this is right before COVID was about to hit.
Okay.
So it was about late February, early March. They're like, "All right, we're gonna shoot a music video for this," and I didn't even know it was with FaZe at the time. So yeah, I mean everything was just kind of super fast paced at that time, and it
Oh,
seems
so
like
you
with
didn't even
COVID,
know you were
everything's
going to be
changing.
working with them?
No, I didn't know until I was probably like 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks of my LA trip.
Oh my gosh. That must have been pretty crazy though. Did
I
they?
mean, it's like a group of guys that I've like looked up to my whole entire life. So it was like, and it's weird because I've met like when I was out there, I was meeting with all these awesome people like in the music industry, but like I didn't really fanboy as much as like I did with these guys because these guys
Right.
played such a big. I'm like, all right, FaZe Clan, this is awesome. Like my inner nerd comes out.
Right, of course. I mean, wow. But that's what's nuts is that they were able to link you up with them as far as the music video, and you had already, had a past sort of relationship with
Exactly.
the guys, like you
And it's
knew
cool
them to an
because
extent.
yeah, and I still have like I got a lot of their numbers and I still have like a pretty decent relationship with a lot of these guys. So I wouldn't doubt that something in the future was to come about.
Yeah. When you came in, did they all did they know who you were? Like, I mean, the guys that you had met before.
No, no, no,
Uh,
no. I I didn't even explain it to any of them. Like it's such a long story.
yeah. That's funny though. That's rad that you got to do it. You have a new song coming out, Drop Top. Want to tell me a little bit about that one?
Drop Top, yeah, I like Drop Top. It's more of a summer vibe.
Okay.
So we're getting towards the end. We're kind of getting into fall, but it is more of like it's like a bouncy, upbeat kind of. It almost feels like you're in Los Angeles when you listen to it, right?
Okay.
Um, I don't really know much to say about it. It's kind of just like it's a feel good song. It's something you want to just listen to in your Jeep Wrangler with the windows down. Um, it was a lot of fun to record, and I'm extremely happy with the outcome, and I'm excited to share it with the world.
Did you record it in LA?
I recorded it here. I recorded on this microphone I'm speaking to right now.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's rad. What about the other one, Ooh La La? Was that done there too?
This was done here, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Well,
I mix and master all my own stuff for the most part. Um yeah, I mean, I'm really kind of a control freak and hands-on when it comes to my music.
mhm.
I don't know why I'm like that, but it's just the way I am. And I don't know, I'm really intimate when it comes to that. So
Mhm.
I like keeping it that way.
That's cool. That's crazy that you did that on that mic you're talking with
This
me
one right
on.
here.
Wow. Well, you said you were in LA doing like writing sessions and stuff. Are any of those songs going to be part of
Yes.
anything? Okay.
Yep. So we have a few of those songs on the album or the project, I should say, on the project that we're working on right now. So yeah, there's a few of those mixed in there, and I've worked with like the people out there were awesome to work with. So
Mhm.
I'm really happy with a lot of these songs that are on this upcoming project.
Are you gonna let them mix and produce them, or do
Yeah,
you
they
want to get your
did.
hands on them?
No, they did mix
Okay.
them, but I was really nitpicky about it when they were sending them to me and like giving me notes.
Oh, that's funny. Right on, man. Well, you said you were in the studio right before COVID hit. Did that kind of throw any like obstacles in your plan?
Um, it definitely slowed a lot of stuff down. I mean, we didn't know COVID was at the time. We didn't know COVID was going to take over like that.
Mhm.
It was kind of like I got a text and it's like, "Yo, you're flying out next week. This stuff's getting bad."
Oh,
That's pretty
wow.
much what it was like. But like when I
Yeah.
was out there, everything was pretty normal.
Mhm.
It was kind of just, and it's really cool to be in the studio with like a group of people because you kind of just bounce ideas off of each other.
Mhm.
And I really miss that. I feel like ever since COVID hit, I just been in my room, in my lonesome, in my dark room, and I just haven't been able to like catch an energy because it really is like an energy bouncing off of people, like in
Mhm.
person, and it's so much easier to create like that. So when I was out there, I was definitely in a better work ethic than I am right
Mhm.
now.
Do you feel, yeah, I was gonna say when you got home, do you feel like you were able to write or be creative during
I've
the
noticed ever since I got home, a lot of my songs have been getting sadder and sadder
Oh, is
throughout
that
the
right?
yeah. So it's like when I was out in LA, I was recording a lot of upbeat stuff, and now that I'm here, everything's just kind of getting to like the minor chords and getting super
Super
sad.
dark.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Well, thank you so much, Rosie, for talking with me today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. Thank you for having me. It was awesome.
Yeah. I do have one more question, and I just thought of another one now that I'm like trolling your Instagram. Tell me about
Okay.
getting the Spotify plaque for 10 million streams. That's dope.
Can you see it?
I can't
Yeah,
see
it's
it. Oh, you have it on the wall.
uh
It's a little dark, but
yeah, it's right on the
I can
wall.
see the outline. I see it on your
Dude,
Instagram.
I have such a funny video to post when it hits 20 because it's coming up on 20 million right now.
Uh-huh.
Um, so that was actually a birthday gift to me from my dad.
That's dope.
Um, yeah, I was super stoked because I never. It's actually so pretty though. Like I just love hanging it up on my wall. Um,
Yeah, it's sick.
yeah, I mean that was kind of surreal. It was a like I said, it was a birthday gift, and it was probably one of my best birthday gifts I've ever gotten because it has a lot of sentiment to me.
Hmm. That's really cool. So you have another one coming or something cool coming when it hits 20?
Yeah, I might just throw a post-it note on there to cover up the one and put it to
That'd be pretty rad, actually. That's
two,
funny.
and just keep changing it every time.
Right, exactly. Hope you'll, yeah, 3, 4, 5. There you
Three,
go.
4, 5, and then we'll add a 10 to make it 100, 100 million.
100 mil. I love it. Well, yeah, one more question for you, man. I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
Um, my biggest piece of advice to aspiring artists would be actually I have two pieces. So my first one would be don't let other people's opinions slow you down or stop you from following your dream. Because if I were to stop back then when I was getting picked on in high school for dropping my first song on Apple Music, then I would not be here where I am today. And my second piece of advice would be music is art and you can't recreate someone else's art. Make your own sound and find your own way of doing it.